We've all sat in that meeting. The speaker is reading a dense spreadsheet, and everyone else is quietly glued to their phones, mentally miles away. But then, someone else steps up to the front of the room. They don't use flashy slides, yet suddenly, every eye is on them. Why does that happen? Holding someone's focus relies on a specific biological process. When you list raw facts, the language centers of the brain process the words, but the rest of the mind stays asleep. There's no physical reason to pay attention. To wake that brain up, you need a delivery vehicle that triggers a physical reaction. That vehicle is storytelling. Introducing tension in a story triggers cortisol. This internal alarm system snaps the listener to attention, forcing them to focus. Next, a good story offers moments of progress, releasing dopamine. This reward chemical feels good, making the listener want to follow along to the end. Combining that alarm and reward creates something incredible: neural coupling. As you describe an experience, the listener's brainwaves perfectly synchronize with your own. This chemical synchronization lets you transfer your exact feelings and experiences directly into the listener's brain. So how do we actually put this biology to work? We can use a specific structure to capture and hold focus. The first step is your mission. Right out of the gate, you state a clear, high-stakes goal. Instead of saying, "Here is a report," you say, "Here's the big problem I'm trying to solve." This creates that necessary tension. Step 2 is context. You take a brief step back to explain who you are and why this goal matters to you. Sharing a small, relatable detail or a minor struggle builds trust, encouraging the audience to root for you. Step 3 is the plan. This visual roadmap maps out exactly how you intend to reach your goal. It grounds your story, making the path forward feel real and highly specific. These first 3 pieces, mission, context, and plan, set the stage. They lock in your listener's focus, so they are ready for the emotional journey that follows. Now we look at the emotional journey. This graph tracks a story's tension over time. Step 4 is rising action. When your plan hits a sudden obstacle, tension goes up, spiking cortisol. Step 5 is the climax. The tension finally breaks. You solve the problem, delivering a massive wave of dopamine, giving your audience a deeply satisfying sense of completion. Finally, step 6 is the reflection. You share the single, most important lesson you learned from the experience. This ensures the viewer walks away with a meaningful, memorable takeaway. Following these 6 steps allows you to pace setbacks and victories to create a chemical rhythm that keeps an audience captive. This rhythm isn't a modern invention designed for digital screens or corporate boardrooms. It is the oldest communication tool we have. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors didn't have spreadsheets to pass down knowledge. They painted hunting scenes on cave walls, using narratives as literal survival guides to keep the next generation alive. Throughout history, great leaders have intuitively utilized this narrative power to frame complex struggles as moral epics, making their vision relatable and urgent for millions. When you control the narrative, you have the ability to unite people around a single shared vision. In your own everyday life, the way you structure your ideas dictates how the people around you see you. Following this framework elevates your delivery. When you share a struggle and a resolution, people put down their phones, connect with your journey, and recognize your expertise. So the next time you need to share a new idea or present a report, leave the raw facts for the email. Start by stating your mission and build a story around it. By mastering narrative, you reach the brain's internal systems, ensuring your message is heard and remembered.